You saw the title, The Power of Boredom. Firstly, what is boredom? What is being bored? Feeling weary because one is unoccupied or lacks interest in one's current activity. Being bored is often associated with being a negative emotion, but really it can be a powerful force for creativity and personal growth. Some antonyms of boredom could be interested, entertained, or stimulated. Let's focus on that last one, stimulated. These days, people are always being stimulated. Listening to music, scrolling on social media, tapping our feet. It's almost as if we can't sit still in a quiet room with just our thoughts. It's like we always need to be stimulated. Whenever a second of boredom hits us, we have to do something that can keep our attention. I remember a couple of years ago, it was nearly impossible for me to go on a walk or a workout without listening to music. Even when I was already acting on something, I needed something on top of that for me to be content with whatever I was doing. In the last video, I talked about Steve Jobs' mentality when creating his products and how his sense of minimalism was to be admired. But in this video, I'll talk about some of his flaws. When the iPhone came along, yes, it was revolutionary, but boredom was now a thing of the past. Boredom died. Now, almost always, I can guarantee that your iPhone is right next to you, either on the desk you're sitting at, in your pocket. Even when you're standing in line, you're on your iPhone. If you're waiting for a class to begin, you're on your iPhone. If you're in a car as a passenger, you're on your iPhone. This, I think, is a disease. We don't know what it's like to be bored anymore. It's a misery. We are so attached to this little block of distraction. To fully rest your mind is a thing of the past. What we must do is find the value in boredom. Because when you value boredom, you embrace creativity. There are only certain thoughts that you can think of if you are bored. For instance, this great video that you're watching right now, I came up with when I was in a state of boredom. Have you ever felt this 3 a.m. motivation where you say, all right, tomorrow I become something different. Tomorrow I'm gonna go to the gym, not go on my phone at all, finish all my work for the day. Tomorrow, everything is gonna change. So you set an alarm for early in the morning. Then morning hits, and your alarm wakes you. You get out of bed groggy. So you get on your phone and scroll, and scroll, and scroll, and scroll, and scroll, and scroll. Having this immense brain fog, and then you feel detached from reality for the rest of the day. The reason you have that brain fog is because the first hour you're awake, your brain is most susceptible. Whatever you consume in the first hour, books, news, social media, heavily impacts your mindset and emotions throughout the day. Your brain is kind of like a sponge because it is transitioning from being asleep to being awake. This is also your brain's prime time for creativity. So what I'm saying is to utilize that first hour that you're awake. But what if you can't utilize that first hour that you're awake? What if you have to go to school or you have to go to work or something like that? And that's where the boredom comes in. Throughout the day, if you actively force yourself to be bored, you will start to think more. When you are with your own thoughts, there's almost this cathartic release where you embrace the creativity in your mind. Go on a walk without listening to music. Wait in line without being on your phone. Learn to be alone with your own thoughts. Now, on TikTok or Instagram or some sort of short form videos, there are literally two parts to a video because people's attention spans are so done for. Their brain is so messed up and skewed that it needs an extra video just to be stimulated. Some people's attention spans are so horrible that they are incapable of watching a movie or a TV show without having another screen in front of them. In my attention spans video, I highlighted that the more our society goes on, the more our attention spans are failing. Some people can't even watch this full video without glimpsing at their phones. And I think the problem is we need to stop looking at being bored as a bad thing. Funny enough, these mundane tasks that we do throughout our day, doing laundry, cleaning dishes, folding clothes, and cleaning our room, are honestly so good for our dopamine. When we anticipate and achieve positive outcomes from a task such as decluttering, our brain gets a dopamine boost, making us feel better. Nowadays, we get fake dopamine from like scrolling on our phones, eating sugary snacks, or like any type of addiction. What we need to understand is the value of boredom. Do you need to scroll on your phone? No. Do you need to watch that movie? No. Do you need to play video games? No. Can you now go to the library and study? Yes. Yes, you can. Yeah, it's boring, but now you understand the value of boredom. As a child, my parents didn't give me a phone till I was in 6th grade. Looking back, I still think I was too young for that. But before, when I didn't have a phone, I would get home from school, finish my homework, and then what? I would be bored. So how would I fill that time up? I would play with Play-Doh. And this obsession with Play-Doh ultimately transformed into my obsession with Legos. I could literally spend 4 hours on end crafting characters and storylines with my Legos. And I'd like to think that this boosted my creativity more than other kids. I had this fascination with storytelling and coming up with intricate episodes for my Legos. I was always a creative kid because my parents would keep me bored. I had to learn to make the most fun out of any given situation. And whether my parents realize this or not, keeping me bored has boosted my creativity so much. Why I like making these YouTube videos so much, because I'm able to convey a story about anything I like. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The last one absolutely blew up. So thank you so much. Let me know if you have any thoughts for the future. I hope this helped with your understanding of the value of boredom.